Data Advocacy for All was really started to try to address what we perceive to be a gap in data science education.
There's been a whole lot of energy, time, resources poured into data science programs, and rightfully so. This is kind of a booming field. But what we see is a lack of kind of resources around a data advocacy standpoint. And data advocacy, we just mean teaching students how to inquire with data, process and analyze data, and then most importantly to actually deploy data for social change.
One of the things that we also realized is that data advocacy is not really being taught at very many institutions, particularly in data science.
Some students come in with the idea that the numbers don't lie, that data is some kind of clear window onto the truth. And we want to immediately start complicating that. Who created the data? What for? Who was left out of the data?
You also need a rhetorical mindset to understand how to effectively use data to work towards various goals and to address various audiences. So the original impetus was to map on rhetorical studies to data science education in a way that would provide students with the adequate training they needed. We wanted to test in two different classes. One was taught at the University of Colorado Boulder, another one at the University of Colorado Denver.
And one of the big lessons that we learned was having to kind of zoom out from our own very specific context of not just CU Boulder, but really the CU system as well, and to think about what if there's someone teaching a totally online class in a different country and is just interested in a particular part of data advocacy? What is going to be most useful for them?
The outcome that we're probably most pleased about is the actual digital toolkit, in which we created a search engine that teachers from all over the world can access.
This collected around 130 or so resources. So these would be things like lesson plans, readings, in-class activities, tutorials, assignments.
We developed a literacy domain model for teaching data advocacy. And that is a theoretical kind of apparatus that articulates all the different ethical mindsets and abilities and practices that students need to develop data advocacy abilities.
So the first of these being understanding data, thinking critically about data, defining data, understanding the kind of ethics of data. Second would be processing data. So that would be things like collecting data, cleaning data, analyzing it. And then third, trying to persuade with data. And that could be things like creating effective visualizations that convey that message, or writing, for instance, but in ways that really effectively incorporate data into it.
We deliberately designed the toolkit to be usable a la carte, where people who are teaching completely different kinds of classes, whether it's a history class or a philosophy class or a women's studies class, could go to the toolkit and adapt lesson plans for either one day or a week or a longer unit in the course.
We were able to develop 2 new courses just from working on this project in collaborations with others.
One group of students decided to tackle the topic of glacial recession. They created a website and they did some really amazing animations. Like, this is a really professional looking website. Another group of my students created a website that is advocating for the University of Colorado Boulder to participate in a prison education program, which CU Boulder currently does not do, but CU Denver does. So they went down to CU Denver and interviewed some people and created some videos for their website, created some data visualizations, and then created it as a resource for people on this campus who are interested in participating in that program.
So this end result, we've already presented at a couple different conferences. We've gotten really, really great feedback. Folks are excited about it. We've had folks say that they're planning to use this in classes.
Data advocacy is a skill that's being demanded, whether students are going into business, whether they're going into legislation, the nonprofit world. Really being able to advocate with data in this day and age is kind of a ubiquitous skill that all students need, whatever professional domain they go into. And so I'm hoping that one of the key takeaways is data advocacy education, not only within the United States, but across the world.